So this is the second video on the Javelin position. And again, remember that if white's on the move here, it's just mate in one, so it's always black to move here. And black's only good move is to prevent the mate threat by going here. If black instead goes here, well, there's a fork on the board. The attacker does need to beware. Keep an eye peeled for the forks. In the Javelin position, you're always going to win the game on a fork. So black goes there. And we follow the same procedure you saw in the first video. The queen first has to swing to this side, getting an angle on the king. Check from here. And at this point, the queen has gained one file for the king to advance in safety, controlling this checking square. So black is still in very much the same kind of trouble. Has to go there. And the king walks forward, again remembering to avoid this trap. Ooh, nasty, huh? The attacker has lost a lot of ground. The defender should always be on the lookout for these kinds of stalemate threats. So attack that way. Black has no good way to check the king. Just so you see it. Check there. King comes here. There. There. Black is essentially dead. The only way to avoid mate is an immediate sacrifice of the rook. So we have king over here. And now white needs to swing to the other angle, coming over here. If black doesn't push the king back with a body check here, then the king is just going to walk forward and black has lost ground. Queen comes here. The queen is now on the orbit of the rook. Remember what access that gives you to forking squares. So black can't go there. Black walks away. Then we're here. And again, remember, now we have two forking squares here. The king is getting very restricted in its movements. The king has to go there. And usually the queen is going to fall behind the line that the rook stands on at some point because, again, we're controlling this checking square. The white king can advance another row. Now notice that the mate threat in the corner has emerged just like before, and black can't respond to it by giving check. So it's common for black to go here. There are actually two ways to win from this position. I'll show you the other one in a minute. But we'll show the other one. Queen checks from here. We have a fork threat there. Black has no choice. Walk back toward the rook, and now triple threat. Black's dead. The only way to prevent this mate down here while protecting the rook is to step over here and give check, in which case white takes the opposition, and now the queen is threatening mate on both sides. There's just no way to save the position without an immediate sacrifice of the rook. Okay. Now I mentioned there's a second way to proceed here. I try to use the triple threat whenever I can, but at this point you notice that black was forced to step onto the diagonal of the king, and you also want to be aware when that happens, because it's almost always good for the attacker to just set up the discovered check. In this position, the only good alternative for the defender is to interpose the rook, in which case the attacker simply moves here, the diagonal position, another of the 21 positions in the course, and the defender has no choice but to give way. Check. Doesn't matter whether you go to A8 or A7, it's all the same. Check. Philidor's position.